righty. Good morning, everybody, and thank you for being here today for this amazing virtual event with the one and only Michael E. Gerber. Before we launch into this, we'd like to take you through just a couple of housekeeping notes. First, we are recording this event, and while we'd love to see all your faces next to Michael's, if you prefer not to be on the recording, feel free to stop your video share. Please remain muted to avoid any background noises until you're invited to unmute, and this way we can hear all the incredible insights Michael will be sharing without any distractions. Michael will be running through amazing little golden nuggets this morning, and you'll also have an opportunity to ask some great questions in the Q&A at the very end. We have the incredible Michelle Bedwell with us this morning, who is going to be monitoring and facilitating our chat box. Please share all your questions from Michael and follow Michelle's guide as she shares the occasional important update in that chat box section. Thank you to Michael, Executive Director of BNI Central Virginia, Dawn Brooks-Scala, and Michelle Bedwell with Mediac Global and High Tech Media for putting this all together for our small business community. And without any more delay, Inc. magazine calls him the world's #1 business guru, the entrepreneurial and small business thought leader who has impacted the lives of millions of small business owners and hundreds of thousands of companies worldwide for the last 40 years. Let's give a warm, big welcome to the one and only Michael E. Gerber.
Thank you so much, Adam. Thank you so much, folks. I'm delighted to be here. I recently, on June 20th, celebrated my 87th birthday. So I'm delighted to be anywhere, actually. We're talking about scaling. Now, but we used to talk about it as growing your business, growing your business. And I realized over the years that while everybody says they want to grow their business, in actuality, they really don't. What they simply want to do is to grow their income. They want to create more money. And in fact, every small business I've ever spoken to over the years has been interested in one thing, that is making more money. Money. The conversation has always been about money. But my conversation has always been about something quite different than money. My conversation for the years I've been doing the work that I've been doing has been about meaning. In short, what does your company mean? What's the value inherent in what you do every day, rather than going to work, doing it? My conversation has been about the fact that 99% of all the small businesses I've ever spoken to are not created by or driven by entrepreneurs, as everybody speaks about them, but driven by what I call technicians suffering from an entrepreneurial seizure. Doing it. Busy. Now, I don't know if any one of you really appreciate that, but understand, unless you appreciate that, you truly don't understand what it takes to grow your company and why, in fact, it's so critical to grow your company. And why, in fact, it's almost impossible for the vast majority of small businesses I've ever met. And in fact, I've met with hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of them over the years, to actually grow their company. They can't grow it because it's them. In fact, it's them doing it. And I don't want to repeat that again and again, but I probably will. Doing it. Busy. Do any of you identify with what I'm talking about? Do any of you identify with the fact that you're busy, doing it day after day, that your business really isn't business, a job? And it's the worst job in the world because you're reporting to yourself. And yourself is, just as I'm doing right now, doing it. The key resource underlying what it is you do, what it is you sell, what it is you need to do in order to continue what you do in your business, if it is a business, but in fact, it's a job. And as I say, it's the worst job in the world because you're reporting to a lunatic. Now, please don't take this personally. But of course, you better. Because if you don't take this personally, what I'm going to talk with you about today isn't going to have any impact whatsoever on you. And my wish is, here in my 87th year, is to have a profound impact upon you, so that you truly appreciate what I'm about to share with you and why it's so critical, if anything's going to change whatsoever in the business you've got. Now, Dawn knows, and we just had a conversation briefly about Dawn and I and Dr. Ivan Meisner having dinner together maybe 12 years ago. Dawn, was it about 12 years ago? Something like that. And Dr. Ivan Meisner and I go way back, because Ivan and I met each other. Well, I didn't actually meet him. He read my book, The E-Myth Revisited. And I truly hope every single one of you have read my book, at least that book, The E-Myth Revisited, because it changed Dr. Ivan Meisner's life. It was when Dr. Ivan Meisner was working out of his kitchen in his home, starting BNI with his first 2 employees. And Dr. Ivan Meisner, Ivan, said to me, Michael, when I read the E-Myth Revisited, I first understood what you meant by franchising. When you said to me, I've got to create my business just like Ray Kroc did McDonald's. I've got to create a prototype that I can replicate faithfully over and over again. Because if I don't do it that way, I'm never going to be able to grow it that way. And if I'm not able to grow it that way, I'm never going to be able to produce what it is I have in my mind and in my imagination. Dr. Ivan Meisner had an absolutely serious imagination. It was when he read the E-Myth Revisited that it struck him, the business model that was absolutely crucial to what Ivan Meisner's BNI has become today. This most exquisite worldwide organization based upon the thesis of networking. That networking, according to Ivan, was critical if any small business was ever going to be able to grow the way it needed to grow. But on top of that, networking was an absolutely crucial idea. And that crucial idea, hear me folks, that crucial idea was at the heart of Ray Kroc's McDonald's, and which in fact is at the heart of BNI today. And it better be at the heart of what you're doing today, because if it's not at the heart of what you're doing today, you are never going to be able to realize the absolutely unbelievable success that Ivan Meisner has realized in this great growing company today, even now, called BNI. And every single one of you who know BNI, who are faithfully a part of BNI, also know, exactly as I'm describing it to you today, that what BNI did and what BNI does is crucial to your success. And your success is what I'm going to share with you today, because I want to share something that Ivan didn't know because I hadn't created it yet. And that's what I call the eightfold path. Now hear me and write this down, even though I know it's being recorded. Write this down on the pad of paper, that Adam asked you to make certain you brought with you to this meeting. Write this down, the eightfold path. Because I'm going to share that with you, and what it means, and why it means what it means, and how it means what it means to scale your company. Because if you don't follow the eightfold path, hear me, you ain't going to scale your company. And scaling your company means everything. Because if you don't scale your company, you're never going to sell your company. And to sell your company is the objective of all this. At the end of this game, I don't know how old any of you are, but at the end of this game, if you can't sell it, you're stuck with it. And if you're stuck with it, you're going to die with it. And if you're going to die with it, oh my God, folks, what's the point of all this? So hear me. Your company is a product. No, not what you sell, not what you do. Your company is the product. And if your company ain't the product, my God, folks, what in the world are you thinking about every single day? A small business is a product waiting to be grown. And if a small business is not capable of growing, nobody's going to buy it. And if nobody's going to buy it, ladies and gentlemen, you're stuck with the job you've created, doing it. I know, I've said that already, but let me repeat it because I just love the rhythm of it. Doing it. Busy, 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 busy. It sucks. And if it sucks, it ain't going to be sold. And if it ain't going to be sold, all this is for naught. So the eightfold path. What is it? It's the eightfold process by which you create a company of one and grow it to a company of 1,000. Hear me, from 1 to 1,000 is a great leap. But hear me as well. I've created more companies that have grown from 1 to 1,000 than any other individual on the planet. Please, I'm not crowing about that. It's just true. I have grown more small companies into great growing companies from 1 to 1,000 than any other human being on the planet. And I'm going to share with you how I've done that, how I've made it possible for companies just like yours to grow from 1 to 1,000 step by step by step by step. Exactly just like this. Exactly just like I'm going to share with you here. Exactly in identically the same way I'm going to share with you here. So hear me. Take this down. Because if you don't take this down, you're never going to appreciate the importance of it. And if you walk away from this meeting, hear me, my 87th birthday was on June 20th. If you walk away from this meeting, it's unlikely that you're going to have a meeting just like this ever, ever, ever again. So take it as seriously as you take your own heartbeat, as you take your own breath, as you take your own life. Take it that seriously. Adam and Michelle and Dawn brought me here for this very reason. I thank you, folks. I thank you, Michelle. I thank you, Adam. I thank you, Dawn. I'm delighted to be here. But please, please, please explain to everybody here after I'm gone. Not after I'm gone like that, but after I'm gone from here, how important this meeting was and how important it is. Can we do that? Michelle, can we do that? Adam, can we do that? Dawn, can we do that? You got it. So the eightfold path, what is it? It's the process through which you take what you've got and grow it to something you've never even imagined it could be. Now, hear me when I say that, you never could even imagine it could be, because it's so absolutely different from what you're doing today than anything you could possibly imagine. You know, there's all kinds of people out there teaching people how to, coaching people, how to get more sales. But something they always leave out: get more sales for what? Get more sales for your legal services, get more sales for your accounting services, get more sales for your nutrition services, for your real estate services, get more sales for what? Get more sales for what you personally do. Get more sales for your job. So hear me, has it ever struck you that there's only so many sales you can actually service? That in fact, if they're getting you more sales for what you personally do, ultimately you run out of time. Ultimately, you run out of energy. Ultimately, you run out of space. Ultimately, you can only take so many sales. And then what happens? You put a stop to them. Enough, enough, enough. And then what? And then you can't get any more. It's astonishing to me that nobody's figured that out. It's astonishing to me that nobody's figured out that one goes on work on one's business, not to get more sales, to create a scalable business. And a scalable business is a system that works without you. A system that works without Michelle, a system that works without Adam, a system that works without Dawn, a system that works without Michael E. Gerber, a system that works on its own, which is in fact what I want to share with you. The Eightfold Path starts exactly like this. Now write this down. First step in the Eightfold Path, there are 8 steps, obviously, in the Eightfold Path. The first step in the Eightfold Path is your dream. Write this down. What's the question? What is my dream? I have a dream. I have a dream. Walt Disney had a dream. Ray Kroc had a dream. Steve Jobs had a dream. Mother Teresa had a dream. What's a dream? A dream is a great result. What's the great result you started your business to create? Not income, not more work. What's the great result you've created your business to produce? Every company needs a great result. I have a dream. What's yours? Mine, way back in 1977, when I started all this, 1977. Can you believe that? I said 1977 when I started all this. I had a dream. My dream, I wrote it down, was to transform the state of small business worldwide. Now, I want you to write that down: to transform the state of small business worldwide. That was my dream. What's your dream? If you write down to transform the state of small business worldwide, and then put a blank where it's small business, to transform the state of blank worldwide, that will become your dream. What's the blank? What's the blank, Michelle? What's the blank, Adam? What's the blank, Dawn? Transform the state of blank worldwide. I have a dream. Write that down. The second step in the Eightfold Path is your vision. I had a vision. My vision was to invent the McDonald's of small business development services. Why McDonald's? Because McDonald's is the most successful small business in the world. For me, started by Ray Kroc when he was 52 years of age. Started by Ray Kroc when he was 52 years of age. Can you believe that? 52 years old when he started McDonald's. And when he started McDonald's, he started it by creating a franchise prototype. And the franchise prototype was his first store. And he turnkeyed that first store, faithfully turnkeyed that first store by working in it. No, Ray Kroc never made a hamburger. He never made a French fry. He never made a milkshake. Ray Kroc never did any of that work. Ray Kroc worked on that first store, not in it. Kroc worked on that first store, not in it, to invent the system that he could create and replicate faithfully 10 times, 20 times, 50 times, 1,000 times. What's your first store? Replicate. Had a vision to invent the McDonald's of small business development services. So hear me, what's your vision? To invent the McDonald's of blank services. Write that down. Hear me, write that down. Because if you ask yourself the question, how to in fact do identically what I just said, you'll come close to understanding what a vision is. Now hear me, a vision is visual, emotional, functional, and financial. First visual, second emotional, third functional, and fourth financial. So you have the visual picture of your first store. You have an emotional picture of your first store. You've got a functional picture of your first store. You've got a financial picture of your first store. And I understand not in the business of selling hamburgers or a store. You're an attorney, you're an accountant, you're whatever. Doesn't make any difference. When I see a store, you understand, I mean your franchise prototype. Hear me. You say, I don't want a franchise month. Doesn't matter whether you want a franchise or not. Every business is a franchise. Write that down. Every business is a franchise. Because if every business isn't a franchise, it ain't going to successfully grow. And I don't mean because you're going to franchise it, but if it isn't a business format franchise, if it isn't a franchise prototype, if it isn't a turnkey system, you're never going to replicate it successfully. Let me say that again. If it isn't a turnkey system, you're never going to replicate it successfully. Michelle, did you hear me? Adam, did you hear me? Dawn, did you hear me? Every
Yes.
one of you, did you hear me? This isn't a turnkey system. Never going to get the hell out of there. If you can't get the hell out of there, what in the world are you doing this for? Every one of you, however many of you are here, 300, I think Adam said, every single one of you here, if you're not going to replicate it, if you're not going to create a turnkey system, you ain't ever going to get out of there. Understand this is crucial to your life. Vision tells you how you're going to produce your dream. First, your dream. Second, your vision. Third, your purpose. What's your purpose? Grow it so that every single one of your customers will be able to do exactly what I'm talking about here. You're going to create the example, the exemplar, every single one of them. They're going to ask you, how in the world did you do that? How in the world did you do that? And you're going to be able to explain to them. Michael shared his 8-fold path with me. And he said the first step is a dream, the second step is a vision, the third step is a purpose, and the fourth step is a mission. And what's the mission? It's the turnkey system. It's going to enable you realize your dream. It's going to enable you to realize your vision. It's going to enable you to realize your purpose, your mission. Let me say something else about that. Please write this down because it's crucial. What is an entrepreneur? Nobody else has explained what an entrepreneur is. They just assume everybody knows it. Let me share with you exactly what an entrepreneur is. An entrepreneur is 4 different personalities. An entrepreneur is a dreamer. An entrepreneur is a thinker. An entrepreneur is a storyteller. And an entrepreneur is a leader. Dreamer, a thinker, a storyteller, and a leader. A dreamer has a dream. A thinker has a vision. A storyteller has a purpose. A leader has a mission. It tells you at the heart of your purpose is a story. Let me ask you that question. What's the story behind your company? You have a sizzling story behind your company. Because that sizzling story behind your company is what's going to share with everybody you speak to your dream, your vision, your purpose, and your mission. What's the story? Michelle, what's the story? Adam, what's the story? Dawn, what's the story? You understand? The storyteller, storyteller, storyteller. What am I doing right now? I'm telling you a story. I can go on and on and on, and I have published 34 books. Every single one of those books told a story. First book, The E-Myth, told the story. The very first, The E-Myth, why most small businesses don't work and what to do about it. Point went on to tell more about that story. The E-Myth Revisited told more about that story. And any one of you who have not read the E-Myth Revisited just got to read that book because it shares a story with you about how I came to this decision about the dream, the vision, the purpose, the mission. Every single one of you need to write your own book, your own story, your own tale of woe and success and understanding, and how you went from not knowing to become the person you are today, who is the person who knows. You know what? You know something you never shared with anybody, but you're going to share today. What are you going to share? Dream, have a vision, have a purpose, have a mission. You get that? I have a dream, I have a vision, I have a purpose, I have a mission. And suddenly there's something alive, something absolutely stunning at the heart of your company. Something, in fact, will enable you to inspire the people you speak to inspire the people you bring on board, to inspire the people who work with you, to inspire your accountant, to inspire your bookkeeper, to inspire your salespeople, to inspire your marketing people, to inspire your client services people, to inspire every single person who comes within reach of your imagination. Your imagination is so crucial to what you're bringing to the street. To what you're bringing to the street. Because in fact, unless and until you bring your imagination to the street, unless in fact, until you bring your story to the street, you're not going to be able to do what I'm describing to you today. Those are only the first 4 steps. So write those down again. I've got a dream, I've got a vision, I've got a purpose, I've got a mission. And your dream, your vision, your purpose, your mission are the foundation upon which you begin to do the 5th step, the 6th step, the 7th step, and the 8th step. The 6th step, 5th step, and the 6th step, the 7th step, and the 8th step are the street, are why you are here, are why your company is going to grow and grow and grow and grow. So let's talk about that. 5th step. This step I call the job. What's the job? Job is your client fulfillment system. Hear me. Job is your client fulfillment system. What's your client fulfillment system? It's your company. Client fulfillment system is what you're bringing to the street. Client fulfillment system is inspired by your dream, your vision, your purpose, and your mission. Client fulfillment system is what you do to transform the state of whomever you've committed yourself to transform. Client fulfillment system is how you do what you do that differentiates you successfully from everybody else who says they're in the very same business you are. Client fulfillment system is identically the same as my client fulfillment system was when I started the Michael Thomas Corporation way back then in 1977. I had a dream, when I had a vision, when I had a purpose, when I had a mission that I just shared with you. Tom and I went out to create the transformation of small business worldwide. How are we going to do that? We're going to deliver the system to do that. And we became the very first small business coaching company on the planet. Now hear me when I say that. The very first small business coaching system on the planet. Isn't that astonishing when you think about it? The very first small business coaching company on the planet. Started in 1977, and we immediately went to work on the Michael Thomas Business Development Program from scratch. And that's what I call the job, the client fulfillment system. Tom and I went to work to build the very first client fulfillment system that would enable us to transform small business worldwide. We did it, and 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 we did it. We did it, and we did it, and we did it, and we did it over the next 9 years. The point where you documented system was unparalleled on the planet. Nobody else on the street had ever done anything like it. And today, what you'll see on the street, countless people pretend to do something just like it. Countless coaching companies. I take pride in knowing that we built the very first one. So if you knew what the E-Myth did then and what the E-Myth does today, and if you've read any of my books, the first E-Myth book, second E-Myth Revisited book, E-Myth Manager, E-Myth Mastery, the E-Myth Carpenter, the E-Myth Contractor, the E-Myth Accountant, and on and on and on and on. You'd certainly know, at least somewhat, in fact, we actually designed and launched and grew something, in fact, established an entire enterprise worldwide of countless people who attempt to do the very same thing. I can tell you today that not one of them come even close. Please, that's my pride. And I won't bore you with my pride. I'll simply say, you did it. Now you can do it too. So if you don't do it, if you don't go to work on your job, if you don't go to work on your client fulfillment system, you're never going to be able to replicate it. You're not going to be able to replicate it because you're not going to even come close to doing what Ray Kroc did at McDonald's. If you don't come close to doing what Ray Kroc did at McDonald's, you're not going to come close to understanding what a business format franchise actually is. Think about it. Over 40,000 McDonald's hamburger stands worldwide. He started it when he was 52. I know I repeat myself, but it's an astonishing fact. Ray Kroc started McDonald's when he was 52 years of age, and he built his first prototype. He built that turnkey system so that he could faithfully replicate it successfully. He has replicated it even after he died for 40,000 times. Do you know that the average franchisor has replicated his franchise fewer than 100 times? Average franchisor has replicated his franchise, her franchise, fewer than 100 times. What is that? 40,000, 100. Why is that? They didn't do what Ray Kroc did. Now I'm sharing with you what Ray Kroc did. We did at E-Myth, what we did so you can do it too. So that's why I say, first your dream, second your vision, third your purpose, and fourth your mission. And now we're at the heart of it, client fulfillment system. You need to go to work on your system. So you can build it and turnkey it, document it. So you can replicate yourself, whatever you do, again and again and again and again and again and again and again. Absolutely crucial. If you don't do that, there's nothing that you can replicate other than yourself. You can't replicate yourself because all you do is go out and create more chaos than you create consistency. So let's assume you understand what I'm talking about. We'll talk about it more later on. So your client fulfillment system. So what's the next step? The next step is what I call the practice. The practice is the three-legged stool. The three legs of the practice are lead generation, lead conversion, and client fulfillment. You already understood what client fulfillment is. It's the job. So the practice is two other steps. It's client acquisition, lead generation. You generate leads for what? For your client fulfillment system. Lead conversion, and you convert those leads to what? Customers for your client fulfillment system. Lead generation, lead conversion, client fulfillment. You're going to create customers for your client fulfillment system. Then what is the job your client fulfillment system does? Turns those customers into clients. What's the difference between a customer and a client? A customer buys it maybe one or two times. A client comes back for more and more and more and more. Stay with you forever. Well, hopefully. So your client fulfillment system is as good as McDonald's is. It'll stay with you forever, again and again and again, and become a true client. And as you become a true client, work on your client fulfillment system to make them an even better client, an even better client, an even better client. So lead generation, lead conversion, client fulfillment. Your franchise prototype. Why your franchise prototype? Because without a franchise prototype, you can't create a successful business. It's a successful business. This is nothing other than up to 7 practices, 7 turnkey practices. You're going to replicate that practice and create a business out of it. So your business is 7 practices plus a turnkey management system. Nobody's ever defined a business that way for you before. But understand, if you understand the practice, the three-legged stool, lead generation, lead conversion, client fulfillment, that's the heart of your business, isn't it? Lead generation, lead conversion, client fulfillment. You take that practice, lead generation, lead conversion, client fulfillment, and you replicate it 7 times. That's a turnkey management system. That's a heart of your business. And your business is a prototype as well. Your business is a prototype for an enterprise. Your enterprise is nothing other than up to 7 turnkey businesses. Put that down. An enterprise is nothing other than 7 turnkey businesses plus a turnkey leadership system. evolution of an enterprise, a company of one to a company of 1,000, building the prototype for growth, the prototype for growth. Repeat myself, prototype for growth. If you don't have a prototype for growth, you ain't going to grow successfully. My goodness. I challenged you sufficiently. Get my point. Prototype for this madness. So if there isn't a prototype for this madness, ain't nothing going to happen other than madness. You can't get out of the job you've got unless you do it the way I'm describing it. Let me repeat myself again. Probably get tired of me repeating myself. But by repeating myself, I hopefully have you writing this down. I have a dream, I have a vision, I have a purpose, I have a mission, got a client fulfillment system, got a prototype that I'm going to build my business on, lead generation, lead conversion, client fulfillment, prototype. It's going to sit at the heart of my business. Got a business, which is in fact nothing other than 7 of those prototypes turnkey faithfully, plus a management system turnkey faithfully. This is going to become the heart of an enterprise. The enterprise is nothing other than 7 turnkey businesses, prototype for growth, plus a turnkey leadership system. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, step 6, step 7, step 8. I hope I've absolutely challenged you to understand why this is so critical for every single one of you. It's the only way to get there, ladies and gentlemen. The only way. There is no other. No matter what anybody tells you, there is no other. So I'm inviting you to join me. Inviting you to join me in what I call the dreaming room. Inviting you to join me in the dreaming room so we can go through the process with you, step by step by step. Discover what your dream is, your vision is, your purpose is, what your mission is. Because if you don't have a dream, you don't have a vision, if you don't have a purpose, if you don't have a mission, you might as well stop right there. They serve as the prototype for everything you're going to do. Prototype, everything you're going to do. I repeat myself, I repeat myself, I repeat myself. I know I'm doggedly repetitious, simply because if you don't get it, you're not going to do it. You know what's so absolutely strikingly saddening to me? We've had over 4 million people read the E-Myth Revisited. They read my books, they don't do my books. They read my books, but they don't do my books. I have, for example, the vertical market books that we've published now, 23 of them. I have this memory of my HVAC contractor in Goodrich. He told me he picked up the E-Myth Revisited. He was failing. His HVAC contracting business was failing. It was handed to him from his father. His father passed away and he left him his business. Ken had worked in that business from the age of 10. From the age of 10 with his father, doing it. But his father never taught him how to build his business, just taught him how to do the work in that business. It's what Ken assumed he was to do when he acquired that business. Nobody had told Ken about the IRS. Nobody had told Ken about taxes. Nobody had told Ken that there needed to be a system for doing it, everything he did. The only thing his father told him is go to work every day, go to work every day, go to work every day, just like his father had. Suddenly Ken told me, was pretty much out of business. Somebody had handed him the E-Myth Revisited, told him, hey, Ken, read this book, gotta read this book. Ken was not a reader of books, he told me. As the business came to the cusp of failure, he decided to read the book. He told me he read the E-Myth Revisited, get this, 39 times. He read the E-Myth Revisited 39 times. And when he read the E-Myth Revisited 39 times, Ken told me, he then did E-Myth Revisited again and again and again. He went to work on his HVAC company, applied what I taught him in the E-Myth Revisited, transformed the state of his company, what it is today. What it is today, is a $150 million company and growing. And now is leaving his business behind as the chairman of the board of his company. I tell you so much more about Ken, but you wouldn't believe it in any case. He's just one of the many examples, the thousands of examples of people who did the book. They didn't just read the book. And that's why I repeat myself here. You can understand, I'm not just an old guy railing at you, a guy who's had the experience that unless you do what I'm sharing with you today, it ain't going to make any difference. You've been here, you've heard me, you'll never pay attention to what I'm saying, which is do this, do this, do this. So let's have a few questions. Adam, can you have folks free? Ask me some questions, and I'll be glad to answer them.
Sure thing, do. Would you rather I read them out in the chat box, or would you like us to have people raise their hands and they can ask you directly?
For that, that'd be great.
All right, awesome. So if any of you have a question for the man, the myth, the legend, Michael Gerber, raise your hand now and we'll call on you and we can unmute you to ask a question. All right, here we go. Looks like we've got Linda Clement. All right, hold on one second. I will unmute you. There you go.
Hi there. Hi there. I'm one of the
Wait a second. If you can show me their faces, Adam.
Okay, hold on.
Can we do that?
We go gallery view. They should be on the top for you. It's got the hand raised, so they're usually right there.
Oh, I don't see them.
If I wave at you, will it
Oh,
be
there you are. Hello, Linda.
Hello, Michael. I was wondering about businesses like mine. I have no intention of retiring or selling my business because I'm doing what I love. Since that's not ever going to be the goal.
Linda. You said you have no intention of retiring.
Yes, like you.
Okay,
I'm not
Linda,
retiring. I'm doing what I love.
shut up, Linda. Don't say anything like that. We're all going to retire, Linda, and die.
Well, that's different.
Yeah, well, it's not different at all. Let's prepare for it. So let's just imagine that you're going to die. Before you die, you'd like to hand off your business in a legacy, someone who's going to take it on and continue it successfully.
Right.
So let's just imagine that's the formula. You do that?
That makes more sense. Yes.
Okay, good. So let's imagine that. What's your question?
I was just wondering if it was never the point, if it was never to sell the business, then what difference would it make to this strategy?
Well, it would make no difference, Linda. I
Cool.
understand if you agree with me that you're going to die.
I haven't worked out how to be immortal yet, but I'm
Yeah,
working.
well, Linda, do that, Linda, because I hate to warn you, Linda, that unless and until you do that, you're not going to be prepared for that. Even worst case, your business is not going to be prepared for that.
Yeah.
It's even worst case beyond that, whomever you leave it to is not going to be prepared for that.
Yeah.
Whoever you leave to do is not prepared for that. Your business is going to die.
No fun in that.
Yeah, so just take that as the model. You're going to kindly prepare your company for whomever's going to take it after you pass away.
I
That's
love
it.
it. That's awesome. Thank you.
Perfect.
Perfect. Awesome. All right. Now, Colby had a little challenge in raising the hand, but message in the chat box. So, Colby, where are you?
Hi guys, hi Michael.
Perfect.
Yeah, I
Wait,
guess,
wait a second. Who's on the call?
Colby?
can
Colby
you
King.
hear me?
Who's talking to me?
Colby.
Frank? Abraham? Henry? Who's talking to me? I don't see whomever.
Colby will get you to speak up a little bit more.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. I can't tell who you are.
Maybe if I go like this.
Who's talking?
Colby,
Sure.
see this guy Woodco.
Wave, Colby.
Can you see me?
Okay. Fuck.
Let's see if I can.
We can't get Colby on camera, so can he
You
just
know what
go?
I can
Yeah,
do?
thank you for that. Thank you. So
Here.
speak.
Yeah, my question was I guess similar to Linda's for me. Start my video, yeah.
Okay, here we
Yes.
go.
See me now?
There you go. I
Oh,
spotlight
nice.
you. There you go.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks. My question
There
was
you are.
similar
So-
to Linda's, where, I mean, for me, I build furniture and my passion, like it's a passion-built business. I love what I do, and so I have a challenge.
What's your name? What's your name?
Colby.
Kobe, you're muddling. Kobe, talk to me clearly.
Here, I'll it might be my speakers on my computer. Is that better?
No, I can hear you fine, but you're mumbling. You're
Oh,
not.
gotcha. Yeah, so my question was similar to Linda's, where I build furniture and my passion is in the actual being in my shop building, and I find it challenging to know what direction to scale because I don't want to step back and be more on the backside. I want to be in the business, but I want to scale and
Yeah, I got that. I got that. Forget about that. And you're a technician. You're doing it. You love what you do. I'm saying we've got to stop that momentarily. Understand that's not going to help you grow at all. Because you're going to end up doing it. And ultimately, it's going to fail. Because it's going to sap your energy. It's going to sap your time. It's going to change. And as it changes, and it will, you're going to have to change. If you don't change, you're sucking wind. Hear me?
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so
Right.
this is the fact that if it's going to change, and it will, you're going to have to change. And the
I'm
question
probably at the
becomes,
point where I'm wearing all the hats and all the time in my day is all filled up, and it's becoming overwhelming and stressful. But
you're mumbling again.
I said I'm already at that point where all my time in my day is filled up, wearing all the hats, trying to do everything, and
So hear me. I hear you mumbling. I want to share with you. Please sit back a little. You don't have to sit forward. Sit back a little. Let me speak directly to you. You have to change. You have to change starting now.
Okay.
You may not want to. You may not think you need to. Hear me. I'm speaking to you directly. You have to. If
Yeah.
you don't, company's going to put you under.
I agree. I already feel just if I don't make a change and step back and start
And
scaling.
the
and
question
getting people-
becomes, so how do I change?
Yeah,
First, you've got to change into an entrepreneur. A dreamer, I'm a thinker, I'm a storyteller, I'm a leader. I don't have a dream, I don't have a vision, I don't have a purpose, I don't have a mission. That's where you start.
following
that's-
through those 8 steps. Yeah, I was
That's
writing
where
them.
that's where we begin the change. So the very most important thing you need to do is join me in the dreaming room. I'm not selling you that, I'm telling you that.
Sounds
The
good.
first thing you need to do in order to change is to join me in the dreaming room. Got it?
Perfect. All righty, so
Awesome.
before we move on to the next question, I'm just going to make a quick announcement to remind everybody, if you'd like to learn anything else, if you'd like to get in touch with and learn about Michael's courses or his dreaming room, as he just shared, make sure you put your details in the chat box so Team Gerber can reach out and connect with you to give you all the details you're looking for. With that said, the next question is from Angel Hammering. I know you raised your hand and then it disappeared. So are you still there, Angel?
Yeah, now? Mike?
I'm here, but I don't have a question. I'm okay. Thank
You're
you.
all good? All
I'm good.
right.
Thank you.
All right, perfect. So the next question then we'll move on to is, I believe it was, I've lost you there. Hold on. Mike Chastain, is that correct? Did I say that correctly?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. All right, hold on 1 second when we get you up on the screen, Mike. There you go.
Hello,
Hey,
Mike.
sorry, I think I accidentally. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Sorry, I accidentally raised my hand on accident, but while I'm here, I just want to say thank you, Michael. I've read all your books and it's been great for my business. Now, I challenge anybody, you know, the Ken Goodrich book is more for plumbing HVAC, but I challenge all you guys to read the Ken Goodrich HVAC. Man, it was tremendous for my business. So just want to say thank you, Michael, for all you do for the kids and all businesses.
Thank you, Mike. Question?
All righty. The next question we have for you is from Abraham Gandhi.
Hello, Abraham. How are you?
Okay. Hi, Michael. Good. It's an honor to be with you. I've read your books. I'm not sure if 39 times, but definitely more than one, and it helped my business a lot. Thank you
Wonderful.
for that. Now, my question is, I'm still under a $1 million revenue company, so my budget allows me just for myself to do all the work, but I understand that I need to document everything, and that's what I do. Whenever I do anything in the business, I'm trying to balance it to do the writing, the documentation as I do it, so I can then multiply it. But I find the challenge that it's holding me up a lot of time. So it's basically, I feel that it's holding me back to grow. So where's the balance when I'm still in a young company to really do both, be in the business because I don't have any choice.
I got it. So Abraham, first of all, let me share with you an idea that will help you. It's an idea I call TWO. Write this down, capital TWO, capital CO, TWO. So every single one of you write this down, TWO. TWO is old co and new co. Old co is the company you've got. New co is the company you're going to create. You don't grow old co. You organize old co to work predictably. New co is what you grow. Old co is the company you got. New co is the company you're going to create. You got that?
Yes.
So Abraham, You're going to organize Oldco to establish it so it can, in fact, persist successfully without you.
Right.
Right? So how do you do that? You turnkey Oldco so it can persist without you. You need to do it. So you're going to grow Oldco, so let's say 3 million in revenue. Where do you begin the process turnkeying Oldco? The bottom. So have you created your org chart yet, Abraham?
Yes, I did.
Wonderful. So where do you spend the majority of your time in Oldco? In what function?
Repeat it. I didn't hear you the last one.
In what function do you spend the majority of your time in Oldco?
I basically fulfill all the hats. So I have my time management sheet, for every hour of the day, and which I do all the mechanical work, and I have 1 hour in the week for, like you call it, the working
Yeah,
on.
forget about your management time. In what function at the bottom of your organization do you spend the majority of your time?
Oh,
in sales, in client fulfillment, in finance, what?
And project management.
No, not management. Project management of what?
Of executing the sales. I do kitchen cabinets for construction projects. So
Okay.
need to do-
Who builds the kitchens?
I buy it from manufacturers, and
Sorry?
I buy the cabinets from factories, manufacturers, and I
Will you
have
install them?
I have subcontractors doing the installation.
Okay. Do you do the installation?
Not myself. I'm just the middleman, managing the.
Okay. But how do your contractors install them?
They're companies for themselves. So
Yeah, yeah,
I hire like other companies to do that.
yeah, right. So I understand. So in effect, you think you're a management company,
Right.
but you're selling something. What are you selling to your consumer who's buying those kitchen cabinets?
Right.
What differentiates you from everybody else in the kitchen cabinet business?
Doing the best care possible for them.
Yeah,
Communicating.
that's what everybody says.
Right.
So everybody says the very same thing, Abraham.
Right. So on a physical explanation, I do full turnkey packages for them. Supply and install of cabinets and countertops, which
I got it.
out there are doing just either or. I'm doing a package for them.
Yeah. So hear me, Abraham. Let's forget about the installation for the moment.
Mhm.
Because the installation's got to be turnkey. Your way. Not your contractor's way. Your way. Which means effectively you're going to go from your contractors to your own employees. It's impossible for you to think about that right now, but just imagine that's what you're going to do. Everybody, when I'm speaking to Abraham, I'm speaking to you. You get my point? When I'm speaking to Abraham, I'm speaking to every single one of you. Differentiation is crucial in client fulfillment. Differentiation is crucial in client fulfillment. And Abraham doesn't have differentiation in his kitchen cabinet business. He thinks he does, but he doesn't. So for the moment, let's forget about the cabinets. Let's go to sales. Abraham, where are you? You just moved. Raise your hand so I can see you. There you are. Hi, Abraham. So let's go to sales, because I assume your sales are being done by you.
Correct.
You personally?
Yes,
Got it. So that's where you start this whole thing. At the bottom. How we sell it. So you're going to document how we sell it here. Everybody, you get this? At the bottom, not at the top, not at the management, not at the supervisor, at the bottom of your organization, at the bottom of Old Co. Where you are today, at the bottom of it. Sales, installation, bookkeeping, at the bottom of it. And that's where you start turnkeying Old Co. At the bottom. So Abraham, you asked the question, how do I do sales? Write that down. How do I do sales? And when I say, how do I do sales? I mean, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. How do I do sales? Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. And how do you get there, Abraham?
right. So I have that all in my mind, and I'm trying to translate it into documentation so I can, turnkey it the way you call it from Old Co. But I feel that it's holding me up a lot of time to shift
Yeah,
it.
but it shouldn't, Abraham, it shouldn't hold you up a lot of time because you do it while you're doing it.
Mhm.
What's the first thing I do? Write this question down. What's the second thing I do? What's the third thing I do? What's the fourth thing I do? Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. It's a process, Abraham.
A lot of times when I get there, I get stuck in a certain step, which is
Yeah, well, stop getting stuck, Abraham.
but the brainstorming is taking a lot of time, which
Yeah, well, it doesn't
work.
have to take a lot of time, Abraham. All you got to do is ask the question. Step 1, what do I do in step 1? Think about this. What do I do in step 2? What do I do in step 3? What do I do in step 4? It's very, very simple. Follow the process from step 1, step 2, step 3. Every one of you, do you hear me?
Understand.
Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. And when you begin to do that, the confusion comes from the fact you don't think that way. Because you don't think that way, you're screwed up. And because you're screwed up, you become confused. The confusion arises. The confusion, Abraham, arises because you don't think that way.
So to my understanding is that I need to simplify it in a step-by-step way.
No,
and-
you got no. You don't have to do all that, Abraham. Forget about all that crap. I got to think that way. Just write that down. I got to think that way. Step 1, step 2, step 3. The minute you begin to think that way, you begin to see it that way. The minute you begin to see it that way, you'll be able to write it down that way. And the minute you're able to write it down that way, you'll be able to document it that way. And the minute you'll be able to document it that way, you'll be able to replicate yourself that way. Simple, 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 simple. Every single one of you get this, please. I don't think that way. That's why I get confused. Please hear me. I don't think that way. That's why I get confused. Confusion simply comes from the fact you don't think that way. So what I'm sharing with you right now is so crucial to your life. Hear me. So crucial to your life. Sandy, you get me? Sandy Duncan, do you get what I'm saying? Linda, do you get what I'm saying?
I do. That
Michael?
actually makes an enormous amount of sense to me.
Lovely.
All right,
Folks,
for time's sake, maybe we'll take one more question and move on. Abraham, make
Certainly,
sure you
glad
leave your
to.
contact details in the chat box so our team can reach out to you. I'm sure that the dreaming room is something that you're definitely interested from the sounds of it. Okay, so the last question we'll, I believe, be able to take is from Henry. But for the others that have your hands raised, we don't want you to miss out. So whatever question you have, please put it in the chat box. We will be talking to Michael afterwards, and some of these questions, or all these questions ideally, will be answered on his Facebook page. So if you go to Michael E. Gerber's Facebook page, make sure you like and follow that page, and you will see a lot of these questions in the chat box will actually be answered in there over the course of the next few days or week or so, depending on how many questions we have. With that said, we have Henry.
Yes.
If you'd like to unmute yourself.
Hello, Henry.
Can you hear me? Hi, Michael. How are you?
I'm delightful. How are you, Henry?
Michael, I just want to thank you. Your work has changed my life. I absolutely read your books every day, right? So, so more than anything, I wanted to fulfill a lifelong dream. That's one of the reasons I raised my hand, because I feel like I know you because I read your books so much. Even if revisited, all of the pages are falling out. Okay, so right now, I had a question.
What is it?
I've been studying the 7 essential disciplines. Of course, we know it's enterprise leadership, marketing leadership, financial leadership, management leadership. Then we get into the lead generate, conversion, fulfillment, conversion, and lead generation. But today you pointed out dream, vision, purpose, and mission. What I'm trying to figure out is what is the difference between those 4 and enterprise leadership, management, finance, well, not management, marketing leadership.
I got it. So you're reading E-Myth Mastery. I saw that.
Absolutely. Well, I'm studying it. It's a little bit different than reading. I'm studying it.
Henry, I'm gonna really confuse you terribly.
Okay.
Read this book, Beyond the E-Myth.
Okay.
Beyond the E-Myth. It's my last E-Myth book that I wrote. Beyond the E-Myth. All of you. Beyond the E-Myth. The evolution of an enterprise from a company of 1 to a company of 1,000. So it's the evolution of my E-Myth story.
Okay.
And when you read Beyond the E-Myth, you'll understand exactly what I'm saying to you here.
Okay. Okay.
Now, another book I want you to read. I'm sorry for all these books, but folks, you got to read them and take them in, because until you read them and take them in, you're just not appreciate what I'm sharing with you, what Henry's talking about. Awakening the Entrepreneur Within. So read the book, Awakening the Entrepreneur Within. So Awakening the Entrepreneur Within, Beyond the E-Myth, and it's the evolution of the E-Myth story.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where we're speaking about it now.
Okay. Okay.
I have a vision, I have a purpose, and I have a mission.
Okay.
It's not different, Henry, from what you've read. It simply takes them further from where we were before. You got it?
Yes, I got it. I got it.
Read them, you got it. The minute you got it, you got a question, write me that question, michael@michaelegerber.com. Michael at michaelegerber.com.
Oh, I'm joining the training room. I'm joining the training room, so don't worry about it. Well, let me write that down. You said Michael?
Michael@michaelegerber.com. Don't drive me crazy, but there you go. Do we have another question, Adam, or are we done?
Did you want to take one more? Because look, we want to respect your time, Michael.
I'll take
We've
one
already
more.
gone a little bit over.
I'll take one more.
All right, Andrea, you're lucky. Yeah, it's come up here.
Andrea, hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm delightful. How are you, Andrea?
I'm enjoying this event very much. Thank you for taking my question. I am a business owner of a franchise. So my business already has that model. But my question is, how do I grow my own personal branch and make it like replicable? I don't know if it makes sense.
So how do I grow my personal branch?
Yes.
Is it a franchise?
It is, yes.
So you're a franchisee?
Exactly.
Okay, so let me share this with you. Is the franchisor turnkey?
Sort of, yes.
Meaning, is it like McDonald's? Every single action, every single step, a system for it?
No, like 80%.
Okay, So you turn around, you say to your franchisor, this is how you do what you're asking him. You turn around and you say to your franchisor, get your act together. Read Michael's book, Beyond the E-Myth. You ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing as a franchisor. Tell your franchisor that, even though he's going to get pissed off at me. You got it?
Yes.
And when your franchisor does what your franchisor is supposed to have done, you'll have the answer to your question.
Okay.
It's called turnkey, Andrea. How does a McDonald's franchisee grow? By doing what the franchise has taught him to do. Like this, exactly like this. To do it, to do it, to do it, to do it, exactly like this. Like a, but do this. You got it?
Yes, perfectly. Yeah.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Ain't your problem, it's your franchisor's problem.
Thank you.
Turn around and tell your franchisor, him, her, is it a him or is it a her?
Well, it's a him. Yeah.
Yeah. To get his act together. Tell him Gerber said so. You got it?
Yes, perfect. Thank you.
Don't worry,
Perfect.
Andre. If he doesn't believe you, we've got this recorded.
Okay. Thank you. That can be helpful. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Okay, perfect. So look, let's there's two things that we want to make sure we did before we wrap all this up. One is before everybody bounces out, because we all know we have schedules and things to keep. We want to make sure to just give a big thank you to Michael Gerber for investing all this time and energy supporting the small business community. So you know what? Everyone can unmute and just give him a round of applause. I think it's well deserved.
Yay, Michael! Michael!
Thank you. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Michael. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
so
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you,
One last-
Michael.
Say one last thing, Adam.
Absolutely.
Everybody, go to the bottom of your company, not the top. That's where you start all this, at the bottom, not at the top. Because until you do the bottom, you got nothing to manage. Until you do the bottom, you got nothing to manage. Until you do the turnkey at the bottom, you got nothing to manage. Unless you have something to manage, you can't grow. And until you have that, we're just wasting our time. You got it? Old co, new co. You don't have a dream for old co. You got a dream for new co.
Some good notes. Everyone,
Oh,
I saw heads down writing notes, which is perfect. So the last two things, okay? One is if you are interested in getting in touch with Michael, working with him, or hearing more about his dreaming room, make sure you let us know in the chat box. Otherwise, we don't know. And we don't want you to miss out. We don't want to leave you hanging because we know how important it is. The second thing is that Michael did share, a couple of different strategies of how to scale your business. He mentioned BNI a few times in this session as well. So if you'd like to hear more about BNI and what that can do to scale your business, we have a breakout room that is about to open. You can join that room, and we have Dawn Brooks Gullah, who actually helped us put this together with Michael today. And she's going to be in there answering any questions about that as well. So make sure you put the dreaming room conversation in the chat box. And then the second thing is join that breakout room if you'd like to hear more about that. And thank you again, Michael, for spending this time. Just an absolute goldmine of value. And we're so grateful that you have taken the time to share everything you have with this small business community. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Dawn. Thank you, everybody. Been a delight being here. Take care. I trust I'll see you all soon in the dreaming room. Bye-bye.
Absolutely. Cheers.
Thank you.